animal farming. We all know that animal farming actually causes the animal cruelty, but also animal farming contributes to a climate change. It also contributes to pollution, soil erosion, fresh water consumption, land use, antibiotic resistance. It deteriorates health. It amplifies the social inequality. And all these issues are actually linked with animal farming. And in order to address all these issues caused by animal farming, we mainly use 4 major types of tools. The first one is protest. So we use protest in order to spread awareness about the impact of animal farming. Then we use the outreach through a social media, the outreach on the street, in order to create a public education around the issue. After that, we also do disruption, demonstration, animal rescue, so that we can grab government and media attention. And last but not the least is lobbying. All the upstream work is really important, but if we don't actually get involved in the lobbying, it will not help us to pass a firm policies that will bring the change that we want to see in our communities. So that's why lobbying is very important. And when we do lobbying, we have to kind of follow the mindset of salesman or saleswoman. So what I mean by that is we have to understand the priority of our audience. And in this case, our audience is government. So we have to see from the perspective of the government that what are their priorities when we do lobbying against animal farming. So for government, is the first priority animal cruelty? Or for them the priority is environment and the sustainability of our natural resources? What is their priority? I think that their priority is environment and sustainability. And the reason why I say that is because climate disasters are happening all around the globe, impacting billions of lives around the globe. Just in the US last year, we lost $160 billion worth of properties, and only half of them were actually covered by insurance. Government disaster relief fund was only limited to $15 billion only. So it is largely impacting our economy. But I also agree that there is a majority of our Republican friends out there, they don't really quite understand or link this disaster to the economy and what impact it is having on our economy. And that's why, even after all this damage, in 2017, President Trump actually withdrew from the Paris Agreement by specifically saying that Paris Accord will undermine our economy, without understanding that climate disaster is impacting our economy also. We are just not being the systems thinker by connecting that link. But the good thing happened after that is 407 cities actually stood up. And this 407 city government declared to uphold Paris Agreement and their target. And they say that we will create climate action plans to cut down on our greenhouse gas emission, and we will try our level best to keep the global surface temperature below 2 degrees Celsius. And these 407 US cities actually account for 1/4 of US population, 70 million Americans. And so now this is a really good things happening in the local government right now, because what they are doing is they are actually developing climate action plans. Now unfortunately, in their climate action plans, they are failing to address animal farming, because they are just looking into their transportation, their energy sectors, and they're completely ignoring the animal farming sector because they think that animal farming is something not we do in our cities, so we don't have to actually address it. They missing the link that they are consuming meat and dairy, and through that consumption, they're actually participating into emission of greenhouse gas. And they have a major role to play in reducing the greenhouse gas emission by cutting down their consumption of meat and dairy. And tremendous data out there that actually shows how much negative impact animal agriculture has on environment and sustainability. But now it is an opportunity for us to present that data in front of our local government, especially those 407 cities that declared to uphold the Paris Agreement. So we have a chance to make a strong case against the animal farming, asking our local lawmakers in the cities to reduce the consumption of meat and dairy. And in order to do that, we launched a project called Vision 2025. So in the local government, in a city council, they often create a vision around the issue that they want to quickly address, and it's really a big issue in the community. And once they create that vision, they pass legislation that's related to the vision very quickly. And so that's why we are actually calling this project Vision 2025, because we want our council members, our city council, to pass Vision 2025 to reduce the consumption of meat and dairy. And how we are actually doing this is, first of all, we are creating leaders in these 407 cities across the United States. These leaders, we call them empathy educators. Once they actually sign up to take a leadership in their city, to speak in front of their city council, we help them and we support them to understand the structure of their local government. In all the cities, they have a city council, meaning they have city council members that represent different areas across the community. This city council holds 2 meetings every month. And in the beginning of this meeting, they actually allow the city residents to address the issues that's not actually on the agenda, but it is actually causing them the biggest trouble. It is close to their heart. So we can actually leverage this opportunity to speak in the city council meetings twice every month and address the animal farming impact on sustainability and environment. This public speaking in the council meeting is called public comment on non-agenda items. We don't only have this opportunity to speak at the council, but we also have an opportunity to speak at their advisory committees. So every council has advisory committees in 3 different forms. The first one is called council committees. So different council members actually hold committees with stakeholders in their communities to address different issues or different topics like environment, homelessness. So we could find if there is a council committee in our city that actually addresses the sustainability or environment or animal care issues, and we can go and speak in front of them and address the animal farming. Also, the city council appoints residents to form commissions. So it's literally a city residents that's actually forming these commissions, and they are recommending proposals to their city council. And once it actually gets passed in the commission, it goes to the city council. The commissions also have a limited scope, meaning they actually either address environment, sustainability, homelessness. So if we can find out if there is one commission in our own city that addresses the environment and sustainability, and we can speak to them. The commissions also form subcommittees, so we can also go and speak with the subcommittees as well. So these are all the variety of different opportunities that we communicate with our leaders so that they can actually leverage them and start addressing animal farming to their city council, to their local lawmakers. Not only that, but we also help our leaders in those cities to understand the data, the research that Leslie talked about, so that before they actually go into the city council meeting, they are well informed and they know what to actually talk about in front of their city council to get their attention. We also help them to create social media events, spread more awareness so that they can actually gather more residents to go in the city council meeting and speak in front of them. Because the more residents speak, more repetitively speak, that's how we get their attention. And also, after we actually speak out in city council meetings or in other advisory bodies, we send out follow-up emails to them. And in the follow-up emails, we actually ask them if they are interested in allowing us to make a presentation on this, to give them more data, more information on how deteriorating is animal farming and what can we do about it. And if we actually get a chance to make a presentation before them, we recommend them to pass Vision 2025 to reduce the consumption of meat and dairy in their local community. We don't only ask them to pass the Vision 2025, but we also provide them the municipal guide to actually reduce the consumption of meat and dairy in their community. This is a manual that was produced by Friends of Earth, and it is a municipal guide to a climate-friendly food purchasing policies. So it literally shows how step by step a city council can actually reduce the consumption of meat and dairy in their community. And so starting out with the first step, it actually asks city council to form advisory body specifically designated to addressing lowering the consumption of meat and dairy. And then they can also develop the food standards, meaning what are the foods that actually generates less greenhouse gases, that actually impacts less our sustainability. And once the food standards created, then they actually can enact the climate-friendly food purchasing policies. And once these policies are actually passed, they can actually train their staff who are updating the contracts with the vendors based on increasing the plant-based food and reducing meat and dairy into them. And at the end, they can actually track and report their progress to finally reduce the impact on the environment and sustainability. So this is a very stepwise procedure for any city council to reduce the consumption of meat and dairy. And I'm going to actually leave this municipal guide over here if you want to actually review it after the event. So, is this model really working? We have evidence. So, since last December in the Berkeley, we have been actually talking to our city council and environment commission, as well as Environment and Sustainability Policy Council Committee about how deteriorating is animal farming and what can we actually do about it. The good news is that we just got approved by Berkeley Council Committee on Climate Emergency to make a presentation on animal farming. Wow. And the presentation is happening on June 4th at 2 o'clock in the City Hall. So if you are not aware of Cultivate Empathy for All, please go on our Facebook page. Please find the event that's happening on June 4th. And if you are free, please come to the meeting. And in the meeting, you can also make a public comment to support the presentation as well. So it's a public event and you all are welcome. So it will be wonderful if you can actually come over there. I and Leslie will be presenting the animal farming day on it. Not only in Berkeley, but now we also have leaders, we call them empathy educators, in Seattle, in Sacramento, in San Carlos, Walnut Creek, and Denver, Colorado. So we are expanding, but we don't want to actually limit ourselves to that. We want to create leaders in all of those 407 cities that actually account for 70 million Americans. Wow. And so that's why if you are interested in creating this movement in your own city, please let us know about your interest. Please, after the event, check this list. So in this file, I have a list of all the 407 cities that actually declared to uphold Paris Agreement. Find out if your city is listed in that, and if that's the case and you want to take a leadership in addressing animal farming to your city council, please sign up. We have a sign up sheet over here. Please sign up over here, and we'll be in touch with you. And if you don't actually hear us within a week, please feel free to grab a card and send us an email. And also, please spread the words among your friends, fellow activists, and see if they're interested in becoming a part of this movement. We have to actually lobby, we have to become advocate, and we have to actually reduce the consumption of meat and dairy in our local communities, not only for animals, but also for our entire planet. And I also want to actually say this in the update that we just got endorsement from East Bay Animal PAC about our Vision 2025 project. And we also actually met with State Senator Nancy Skinner last month, and she really liked the bottom to top political approach of Vision 2025, and she said that please send me the details and I'll definitely consider endorsing this. So we are right now in collaboration with her Oakland office and trying to see if we get her endorsement, because if we can get state legislators' endorsement, that will really put pressure on Berkeley's council members to take a strong action on it. And at the end, thank you so much for coming and being patient and listening to the presentation. And now I want to open up for anyone who has questions, ideas, suggestions.